It'd be great if when I start recording and the first thing that goes to my little head is, hey, how about I start talking about some shit? E1 Inco. Oh wait, I forgot to turn on the overlay on the stream. So the stream doesn't have, no, not BRB, that one. Thank you. There, now people can see the stream. Oh, there's two Scary Daves now. There are two different Scary Daves. How nice. So I've talked to this guy, right, who says that he relates to Inco, and apparently he likes reading fanfiction and stuff. So he's like a really nice guy to talk to about this garbage. He told me that what happens to Inco is after he sees. This is kind of something that we talked about. Not like 100% we're committing to this theory or anything, but basically when Inco sees that Olivia isn't acting, what happens to Inco is that he starts to hyper-rationalize. He basically goes insane. He starts to hyper-rationalize why it isn't his fault. And there was also another one. Or that it isn't done yet. Like, it's not his fault, and it can still be fixed. And it's only when Olivia is fucking dead that he goes, okay, well, you know what, I guess it wasn't ever going to work out anyway. He follows another maddening train of thought of like, well, it was doomed from the start. I'm just wasting my time. I'm wasting both of our times. I'm just leaving. No commitment, no desire to actually stick to his guns or anything. Because he's just that abusive of a person. It's interesting that this happens after he starts talking to Mia and gives Mia the time of day quite considerably. So he becomes a bully after talking to a bully. It's very interesting to me. Ooh. My stomach is upset, but I did just eat a whole pizza. And some delicious chicken bits. Should have gone for the garlic sauce, though. Should have gone for the garlic sauce. Not the mayo. The mayo was fine. But the garlic had more pizzazz to it. All right. So, I'm writing a thing. I'm definitely writing a thing. I finished the E3, the ending 3 for Snook Game thing. That's been uploaded. That's taken care of. Then I started writing that other thing, like ending 1 copium. Inco goes back in time. I posted about it in the community post. But it changed a little bit. Over time. Because Inco turns into a dino girl, and the idea behind that is that he cannot date her again. And also, his past self is still there. So it's like, okay, cool. You've gone back in time. You can fix this relationship. But, fun fact, you can't have it. You can only really fix Olivia, but you can't have Olivia anymore, my pal, my homeboy Slice. Also, you might be haunted by yourself. Your old self might try to kill you or something. I don't fucking know what happens to him in that. I'm probably not that extreme. Even Inco is like, I wouldn't be like an actual murderer or creep about this. I would just be very uncomfortable. Right? And in E1 tries. He just doesn't do enough for the context. Like, he definitely understands that something is wrong and something needs to be done, but he just doesn't do enough. He thinks that the right answer is to cower away from trouble and let it play out. So the guy I'm talking to, right? He says like, hey, wouldn't it be like he misunderstood what I wanted, and he was like, oh, so Ingo goes back like to the beginning of the year, right? And he now lives this whole secondary life besides himself, and he's trying to fix this other version of himself over the course of that period, and that you have to at least acknowledge that there's a risk that Inco will fall for himself, which is the most existential dread you can imagine. Not only have I gone back in time, have I lost my entire life, and I'm now living someone else's life, I'm also being hit on by myself, who I think is a dork because I'm a year older than him, and I've grown up. Oh my god, this is the most disgusting thing I've ever lived. Ew. But there was also the point that like Inco would never cheat on Olivia, and I imagine that it depends on how I'm going to handle it. For now, I just want to write that one thing. It's going to be like 1 to 3 chapters, and then we're done. But how about we do the thing? How about we look at Inco? How about we actually play the fucking video game instead of me just jibber jabbering? We're supposed to draw a Gator girl for that sexy, handsome, extremely handsome Inco point. We already know this one. Let's laugh without a little risk. I'll wait for Miss Procklin to start a new tangent to make sure they'll have enough time. She just said something about a new continent, about single continent movement. Time to move. It's going to be basically a stick figure, but it's just doodle. If only you could doodle a photograph. I'm not sure what I meant by that. I also don't know how to draw a wheelchair. In the end, it looks more like an abstract depiction of a bow-legged T-Rex than what I wanted. Oops, it'll have to do. I check it over one last time as if I had the conceptualization to improve it. Oh well. I pass the note forward, careful not to notify the teacher. Why would you notify her? Like, notification implies that you were actually making an effort to have someone figure something out, instead of it being an incidental thing. You fancy $5 word man. I got $5 and I spent them all on these big words. Olivia takes the note over her shoulder, once more not checking it. She seems to deflate a bit on opening the note, probably because of all the blank space. Doesn't look like she recognized whatever I did either. Maybe I should talk to her about it after class. I need to figure something out real fast. Are we? Yeah, we're not a skip mode. We're not a skip mode. Sorry. I don't know. Seems like an okay thing to do. She just passed the note again. What? Once more, the process of... Oh, because she didn't get it. Although this time it's a little more collectively annoyed. Probably won't go around again. Why the heck would Olivia send the note... What the heck would she send the note around again? No one is going to change their mind and draw something now. Is it desperation or thoughtlessness? Whatever it is, the note's coming my way again. Once I take it, I confirm that yes, once again, nobody else wrote anything. However, there is a new doodle of a rabbit flamethrower from Olivia. Cute. Alright, guess this time I'll draw... So, I said it like the cruxical point of that E1 thing, which is going to be one project or two projects. I don't even know what the design for Inco's dinosaur girl form is even going to be, or name, or anything. I'm just like, this is the idea, and I don't... It's like really good, right? It's like, you're like, I can just ignore this problem in the entirety of the first chapter of the shorter one, because who fucking cares? Inco isn't going to acknowledge it because he doesn't care in that moment. He has other things to worry about, like literally meeting himself and being like, Jesus Christ, that was disgusting. Being external to myself has made it only all the more clear what a bad person I was. How about adding myself to the sketch of the half-pipe? This time I'd pick myself as a stick figure. No use trying to go outside my skill level in the no-passing game. It's simple enough to do. I even include my sunglasses. Yeah, I'm liking this. Maybe I should make sure that Mrs. Prockling isn't looking my way. Hold on, I think my door might not be closed or something. You know, Scary Dave, you got a point there. That's probably what happens. Hi, Como. Sorry, I didn't say hi. I forgot, and I felt too late at that point. I mean, he goes back in time, and I guess Anon snapping the Infinity Gauntlet makes perfect sense, right? You know, if we're gonna rewrite history, we might as well go with Anon. I mean, that would happen after the Winter Formal, I guess, year-wise. If we're going by they're happening at the same time, which they don't. There's a... Okay, listen. I mentioned this in a community post, and I'm going to repeat it. I was sleep-deprived last night. I was way too late, and I was having a sleepy time in bed. And I had this theory form in my head that the developers of Wani Gator actually really hate the year 2024. They really hate the modern day. So actually, the entirety of Wani Gator takes place in 2008, before smartphones. Or was it 2015? 18? But it was before smartphones. Specifically, so that they didn't have to include smartphones. Because of TikTok. I don't know either. You tell me what the hell my brain was up to. But that was a grand old trip. Yeah, she's not right now. I'm in luck. Alright, this time to pass this on. I pass the note forward once more. Olivia pinches the note between two fingers, still not looking back. I keep saying that, but I guess it's not weird. I would look back in that situation. She checks the note and looks a bit down again. She glances up to the corner I'd drawn in. Fuck, that got me real good. Yeah, smartphones are like 2007. They're way older than people give them credit for. Like 17 years old. Let's look it up. The iPhone, like the original iPhone Wikipedia, is pretty much what you're looking for, because that's like the common conceptualization of the smartphone. Well, it was released in January 2007, so it is 17 years old at this moment. As of November 2018, more than 2.2 billion smartphones, well, iPhones specifically, been sold. Jesus. Ooh. Large part of the luxury market. Ooh. You know, I don't regret that pizza. I got it for like $6. €6 actually. I got it for €6. And it's good, man. It was a nice pizza. And they make surprisingly good, like, little popcorn chickens. Like, they are juicy. They are juicy chickens. Mm. They're not like the processed shit they have at Domino's. Like, New York Pizza makes some good chicken. They make some good chicken for a company that makes chicken. I should go to the actual Kentucky Fried Chicken we have around the corner and actually see what they make there. Because if this is what, like, actual chicken might be like, I want to know what real chicken looks like. It tastes like. Treat myself to the American way. Anyway, that's enough looking at smartphones. That's enough looking at smartphones. What the hell am I looking at? My favorite response from Japan regarding the whole Assassin's Creed Yasuke situation. We're used to seeing games where Oda Nobunaga is a girl. There's no reason to make a fuss over a black samurai now. We're too late. Oh no. Yeltsin naming his successor 1999, colorized literally. Oh yeah, because it's he's talking about the fucking Fallout 4 meme that I got showed. Fuck. I always forget what I have in my hand sometimes. I gotta show this to someone else though, because we talked about this in a chat. All right, but you wanna know. No, you don't want to know. Let's move on. Crack, which got me real bad. I need to fall out of my seat from the sudden loud noise. There's a moment of unwavering silence before a voice speaks up. Mrs. Halford. Oh, it's another character that just vanishes after a certain point in the story. The guy I talked to who says, like, I have Inco experience as a person, said that, like, the idea is that he's hyperfixating. Like, he's just not caring about anything that isn't related to Olivia, which is fair enough. The girl in question shrinks in her seat in embarrassment. I like that pose. I like it a lot. Although, you have a little awkward cutoff at the bottom there. Also, something about Inco in this particular pose with the chair behind him makes him look fat. I don't know what it is. Sorry, Miss Brockling, I saw a spider. Oh, yeah. It's her tail. I forgot it's not Brockling. It's her fucking tail just slamming on the ground. I keep forgetting that tail is a fucking murder weapon. Mrs. Brockling simply sighs, muttering to herself and turning her attention back to writing more notes on the board. She turns her head back slowly, just enough to be able to make eye contact with me. Wani, the spoilers got to me. Oh no, you got spoiled. Poor Scary Dave. Poor Scary Dave. F's in chat, everyone. F's in chat. While she eyes me with judging contempt and curiosity, I see her hand tenderly massaging the tip of a tail. Just because 5e doesn't let me slap the shit out of people doesn't mean tails are not murder weapons. Looking at the floor, I think she managed to chip the linoleum. Isn't the linoleum just like plastic? It would crack, not chip. Right? Actually, I've never really tried to break linoleum, so... As soon as Mrs. Brockling turns around to continue teaching, Olivia scribbles something down. She turns to look at me once more, hesitating. Then she flicks the note in my direction. It completely misses me. I try to catch it in midair, but end up slamming my face onto my desk to get it. How do you do that? Mrs. Nito, what was that noise? I palm the note into my sleeve and strain to keep my... How does he keep injuring his eye without his glasses shattering? He gets punched in the face, he slams into desks. He probably walks into lantern posts like Anon does. The teacher probably meant the foot stomping. I found that spider, Mrs. Brockling. The teacher grimaces. They better be cleaned up by the end of class then, Mr. Nito. Yes, ma'am. I breathe a sigh of relief as my excuse weathers Mrs. Brockling's stare. She turns a few pages on the textbooks lying on her desk, instructing the class to do the same as she searches for something. She's distracted. I can finally see what Olivia drew. Now there's a surprisingly detailed dodgeball whizzing past my stick figure's head. I want to be upset, but I found myself admiring emotion lines. Seriously, she should be an animator. It's a whole different job, my man. Animators and artists are not necessarily the same. I mull over what to add and settle on giving the large rat sunglasses as well. A few seconds later, he looks twice as cool as before. I look up to Olivia, pondering how to get it back to her when a sinister idea comes to mind. A hood hangs open as it rests on her back. It's a tough shot, but... Bingo. Olivia scratches the back of her neck and finds said note. She looks back with squinted eyes, judging my intents and scanning me for foul play. She mouths something at me. A question, I think, but I am not the most apt lip reader. Yeah, I mean... Fang's tail has no leverage is the problem. It's just a little bingus. It's just a little bingus. Just a little bingus. Especially when said lips are thrice as long as a human. Still, she unfolds the page, and seconds later, she's already added a new sketch and folded it up. The note lands neatly on my desk this time, and I inspect the latest edition. More rats are doing decidedly non-rat activities. I wonder what she'd think of a cat this time. We continue passing the sheet back and forth, adding new sketches and adding to others. My fingers are starting to tire. Mrs. Proctor addresses Olivia. All right, Mrs. Halford, you may leave now. Everyone else, you may take the last 5 minutes to start on your homework. Olivia takes her time to pack away supplies, occasionally glancing my way. Gone is the paranoia, just plain confusion. As if I wouldn't play the doodle game thing with her. Even as she wheels out of the room, I notice her eyes are still on me. I give her a wave goodbye, and she seems shocked by that, turning her head and finally passing through the doorway. All right, homework. Aw, crap. It only now occurs to me there's a pretty good reason why the teachers wants us slacking off during class. For the last 5 minutes, I tried to speed read the second chapter and say, what the fuck are you caring about? You can just read this at any other time in the day. Failing to get any good information for today's homework, I resolved to just check online for a lecture that isn't as boring. No! Scary Dave, no! No! Maybe one with some good animation, even. When the rest of us are finally excused, I realize I've still got a page full of doodles. Considering all the stuff on it, feels like a waste just to throw it away. Just to throw it away! I decided to keep it, slipping it in one of my binders extra. Why are you being so clandestine, you goober? Even with everything safely packed away, I shoulder my backpack and exit the room. Man, now I get why Olivia gets to leave some classes early. The halls are so packed and chaotic when class ends that they always end up being pushed around by rowdy students headed towards the next classes. Once the school ends, it's even worse. What I saw yesterday was something else. The word riptide comes to mind, and that I'm just waiting around for a few minutes for the flow to die down. It's looking like that's just going to be my routine now. I pass by a few more art displays on my way to the stairs back down to the first floor. This isn't the art wing, but there's still a bunch of displays up. Maybe there simply isn't enough space. Something presses into my chest and lurches me to a stop. Oh, sorry, my... Oh. It's Olivia, holding out an arm to stop me. She's still staring at me, though less suspiciously. Her jaw hangs open, but no sound comes out. She realizes her hand is still out and reacts awkwardly, indecisively darting between a hoodie pocket and armrest. Ugh. She expecting something? Oh, the note, maybe. Hey, You could have told me. Huh? That you were in Miss Prockling's class, too. You could have mentioned that, no Sarah. Sorry, I guess I was sort of aiming for a bit of a dramatic reveal there. She brushes her hair aside. Well, whatever. Later, I guess. Later, alligator. Why did you stop me out here? She stops her chair mid-turn, with grey eyes contemplating the dirty floor. I don't really get you. Yeah, it's nice that Olivia isn't in 1,000 fucking pieces in a hospital bed. Olivia's eyes turn back to me, and I can see the nervousness in her pupils. Why do you care? Why, indeed? Well, I guess the main reason is I want to be friends. With me, though? Sure. Those tiny moments in which I saw the Gator girl hyper-animate come to mind, and I can't help but smile. Those small shows of just genuine feelings. I think Mr. Yadakon was right, honestly. Olivia hums in agreement, finally turning away. Oh, crap. Is that maybe too forward of me? I swing my backpack around so I can reach inside it. I still have that note. Note? What with the doodles? From class right now. Why? I just figured you wanted. It was fun filling it out and all. Just as I'm about to pull out my binder, the Gator girl looks back at me and shakes her head. It's just doodles. You can throw it out. Keep it. See if it's so important. She thinks she likes the art. He likes the art. With the briefest moment, I swore I saw her mouth form a tiny smile. But now she's back to looking neutrally at, didn't notice the school had elevators. Why don't people use it? She flashes a key from her pocket, so it's part of accommodations. Makes sense. By now, the hallways have cleared a bit. The elevator arrives, and Olivia rolls in. She pushes her arm to the button and jams the key into some slot. What's the look for? You coming? Oh. I slide in beside Olivia just before the door closes. It's probably safe to catch your foot and to just reopen, but man, this thing is ancient. Oh, as in, like, normally when something blocks the door, it just pops back open, but some old cases, they might just not. There's an inspection certificate lazily plastered above the door from this side. And, of course, it's covered in coffee stains and other signs of age. Is this thing really safe? Olivia shrugs. What's the worst that could happen? Our legs break? I mean, you're falling like a floor. You'll live, my man. You'll live. Alright, she eyes me with a smirk. This may have been a mistake. Ka-chunk. Did they build it just for her or not? Probably not, because the coffee stains imply it's older than that. My heart drops as the space around me seems to drop for a split second. The sound of the worn-out elevator mechanics fills the cramped space. Or maybe they got like a really old one for kicks to save money, so that Scalar can be a jackass. Yeah. Okay. Listen, I have problems with my stomach. And it keeps bringing up the worst parts. How slow is this thing? I look over to Olivia. She uses this thing daily. Surely it normally runs smoother. Her mouth hangs slightly open in an amused grin, watching my sudden onset claustrophobia. Relax, dude. This is normal. Alright, this is normal. Things just jostling around like it's going to drop us any second. It's completely normal. And we reach the door. When we reach the bottom, the doors clunk open and I practically fall out. Olivia rolls from behind casually. Somehow I sense this with a degree of superiority. Yes, Infinity Elevator for when Safi goes on big after-stream rants. Anyway, see you later. Oh yeah, see you. Olivia rounds a corner and I'm left on my lonesome. Hey, don't just be left on your lonesome. You've got more important things to do, buddy. I give him a couple of slaps from the left, I give him a couple of slaps from the right. Just enjoying the music. My senses return to me and I start making my way to the metro station. As I make the journey home, it strikes me just how much progress I've made with Olivia. It's definitely still in its awkward phase, but I can tell that she's opening up little by little. It's starting to become amusing seeing her get confused by my friendly gestures. All in all, I got a pretty good feeling about this. Liz and Ben were overreacting, though. I'm sure to tell them all about it.